Technologic.
Marketing Tech Blog.
Technologic. Buy it, use it, break it.
And that's Aaron speaking. I don't want Aaron to ever pull the curtain back.
No.
Some other people are allowed though.
Now it's the dating game.
Yeah, so tech is great. Hey, I wanted to add to this conversation because I think it's such an important show, and Aaron kind of talked through some of those things. Aaron and I have actually been working offline a lot together on site migration and talking about this stuff. We have a post up, and it's about a week ago, but how to plan your new website. And I would encourage people to go to it because this is another problem that people do all the time is they get a new website and the new website literally wipes out the old website. So the navigation is different. The paths to conversion to become a customer are different. The URL structure is different.
Yep.
And even on the administration side, things are totally different. And the problem is that you are deeply impacting everything when you do that. As prospects come to your site, they get used to it and they know where to look for things and where to find things and everything else. And there's nothing more frustrating to a prospect or a client to return to a site and not be able to find what they were looking at before.
Right.
So I was here 6 months ago and I downloaded a white paper on this. Now I can't find that, on your site. And so, part of the great job that like a site strategics does when they're taking and building a new web presence for a company is also taking into consideration where other people were going before.
Right.
What was successful before. And so I really want to make that clear to everybody that you can change the platform, or you can change from SharePoint to WordPress and everything else. And there doesn't have to be an impact to the client. And that's the important thing or to the visitor, that you can make these changes. And so what we talked about was, when we were talking about migration was, what platform, obviously, what technologies are you currently on? What are you moving to? Is there going to be any problems with that? So we had a client that had, they had a .NET app with a login. Well, we had to put that on a subdomain so that we could put the site itself,
Right.
on like WordPress on a hierarchy. How is your site organized? And a lot of times we want to shorten it up and make it easier. But if someone clicks that old link that they had to your white paper section, you want to make sure that link still redirects properly to the new white paper section.
right.
And so that people can find it.
Along with that, knowing the links that come from other websites to other portions of your website,
Yes.
not just that consumer clicking. There is Google knows about
Yeah.
broken pages
Yeah.
and 404 errors. Page cannot be found. So Google's spidering all these inbound validations, and if you're giving up no content, you're really losing the value that you've been creating.
And sometimes someone will share a link that's bad.
Yep.
So check webmaster's data often, because you can take and take even a bad link that someone's distributed out there and route it properly to a good page for them. Content, we stress with our clients that because you're on a content management system, you can add whatever client you need. So start with what you have to have, a minimum of what you have to have, and then plan what your content strategy is going to be outgoing. But these clients that, they have 1,200 pages on their current site, so they want 1,200 pages on their new site. No, let's get that down to 25 pages,
Right.
And then if there's a knowledge base, we can build a knowledge base. We can do whatever. We can build blog posts. We can, so nice, must have and nice to have are the two categories that I always put everything in. You talked to, we don't stress enough, how are people going to convert? How are people going to go to your site and actually do business with you? And so phone numbers, addresses, maps, forms, notification forms,
Yep.
download forms, landing pages, call to actions. A call to action is like an advertisement on your site, that, hey, call now for
what you want them to do.
a tour. Yeah. And people don't, people design websites without call to actions, without landing pages, without a means to actually connect. And it's aggravating to see someone put up a new website and there's no way for people to get a hold of them.
Right.
Drives me crazy. And then, an email program, like you guys, I think what you do fantastic is incorporating email and apps into everything now. People don't have to manage email and apps. They don't have to. It's part of an overall picture now. Email clients integrate now with content management systems, and apps
I know a
integrate.
great tool called CircuitPress that is fantastic.
It's getting there.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're
You know that tool too?
I do know that
Fantastic.
too. The disclosure, that's our tool. But but that's the thing is we don't want our clients to have to work harder to send out emails. We just want them to write content and let emails go out as well. And that's the same thing with the app, right? The apps that you design, all they have to do is maintain content.
Right.
And the app is automated and updates automatically. And those are so critical because you don't want to add more work, but you do want to reach the audiences where they are. A lot of people get upset and they say, well, that's redundant. If I'm sharing on Twitter and I'm sharing on Facebook and I'm sharing on Google Plus and I'm sharing in the email and I'm sharing, on the app, why do I have the same article in 8 different places? Well, you have that in 8 different places because there's 8 different audiences. Some people love getting an email.
Why are commercials on different stations?
Yeah, exactly. Some people like getting an email.
Right.
Some people, and believe me, if someone sees a Facebook entry for what they read, they don't go, oh, that's the second time I saw that. They just flip by it and they go to the next one. So it's not a big deal, but take advantage of. You have to find your customers where they're at.
Absolutely.
So all of these things need to be taken into consideration. If you're working with an agency or a web design firm or whatever that isn't asking you these questions, like the simple question, so how do you get business? How do you measure success?
Absolutely.
I'm astonished by how many people design a website and their designer doesn't even know how they actually sell. So,
right.
But read that. It's basically, it's a really detailed post and it's how to plan your new website, and find that on the Marketing Tech blog.
No, it was a really good article. And I even commented about that because every one of the different pockets of information could be explored even further.
Absolutely.
It was a really, really relevant article for
But
a lot
if
of
people aren't asking you these questions, you need to go find a new firm. I'm sorry. Right.
That's right.